What is up, everybody? My name is Justin from Party Rental Knowledge, and I'm here with FoamDaddy. FoamDaddy, actually, I'm here with Christopher Weed from FoamDaddy. I'm here with Lawrence from FoamDaddy. If you don't know who FoamDaddy is, you must live under a rock. But why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Christopher Weed from FoamDaddy. I'm FoamDaddy's product ambassador. I'm not a full-time employee of FoamDaddy. I'm a party person like all of you. My company is Bubble Maniacs in Phoenix, Arizona. And with me, I have two friends. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina today. We're launching another new location for our fire truck business. And with me, I have James from Fantastic Fire Department and Fantastic Foam Party in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I have Alex, who is from Tropical Thrills and Foam Gator in Sarasota, Florida. So we're very happy to be with everybody.
Excellent. And then my name is Lawrence. I am a full-time FoamDaddy employee, which is amazing. But I also have a foam party business. Mine's located out of Kansas City. But I'm excited to be here. And thank you, Justin, for putting this together. What are we going to talk about, Justin?
Today, we're basically talking about why should every party rental company add a FoamDaddy machine to their product offerings. It's honestly a topic I've been wanting to emphasize for a while. You see all these different topics about doing foam specific brands, but starting off with a machine in your rental company to just start is even just a great option. And that's one thing I just want to emphasize today, but I also do want to talk about our actual standalone brands. I do both. I have a rental company where I offer foam machines as part of my standalone brand. I have like a third option, almost like a license ship, if you will. I treat my third brand where my party rental company doesn't offer foam parties or foam rentals anymore. We just offer the Groovy Foam option. We don't offer foam parties. We offer a Groovy Foam option. But Groovy Foam also markets itself. It has its own website. It takes its own online bookings. It has its own processes, its own email, but it's all synced within a couple different apps on my back end. But I'm not going over that stuff today. We're just going to really go over the easy stuff of just this is a no-brainer when it comes to if you should have a machine in your inventory or not.
So Justin, let me ask you a question. So why do you think, as a party rental person, why a machine? Can you give us maybe 3 reasons why you think
we have
houses? I need a foam machine.
We have a whole bunch of them on here that are pulled up too. But just in reality, it's a better option. It's a different option. It's like a dunk tank, but it's better than a dunk tank. It's literally a foam party. When somebody sees a foam party, it's not like they get like somebody sees a dunk tank, they get wowed. But when somebody sees a foam party, it's a very bigger, lasting experience. It's something that people talk and share with their friends, where they get excited over a dunk tank. But it's also like a dunk tank where you get schools galore based off just having one. It's also a completely new option for schools that they haven't really seen as much. Like foam exposure is just going out. Our first topic is actually foam is not a fad, right? That's one of the reasons. And what was our first one, I think, on there?
Yeah, foam's not a fad. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Like,
yep, very first one. So
FoamDaddy's been around since 2010. Like that's just one thing. It's not a new thing. I had on here as one of our topics at one point. I was literally like, foam is not like the Velcro wall. You see a bunch of old companies, party rental companies, still having a Velcro wall in their inventory. At one point, that was on the Tonight Show or Today Show or something like that. Yep, there you go. And then suddenly, everybody wanted to rent that. It was a fad for a year or two, and then suddenly it's like you're lucky if that thing goes out once a year, and it's just not the move. That's one of the fads in the industry. Another thing that would be a fad. Sumo wrestling was kind of a fad. There's all kinds of things that come and go, but like FoamDaddy's been around since 2010.
Justin, I'm going to add to that and say that I would say that if you stopped 100 people on the street out here and asked 100 random people on the street or at the mall if they'd ever been to a foam party, I'm going to bet that 99 of 100 are going to say they've never been to one.
Yep.
Which to me says there is still a lot of road ahead of us in terms of potential, in terms of ability to penetrate the market. And I look at my own business and many other people who are friends of mine in the FoamDaddy community. who are growing their businesses. And we continue to just accelerate every season. And every year, I think it can't get any better. And then the next year we do double what we did the year before. It's amazing. I completely support what you're saying, because I think there's still great potential. And there is nothing about foam, like it's such a high energy, fun experience that, as an example, I had Alex out in Phoenix with me the other day, right? We went to a party, and like we find ourselves sort of dancing with the kids bop, right? Like it's fun. It's amazing. You look at the experience people have. There's nothing else that's like that. You simply cannot duplicate that with any other concept.
It's really foam is wonderful. I don't know. I could say a whole bunch of different adjectives about foam all day long. What's our next slide at? So I don't remember these in order either. Oh yeah, another reason why FoamDaddy equipment. FoamDaddy equipment is in a bunch, not yet, but
Pretty much every though.
it's soon. It's in a bunch of major amusement parks across the country. Dolly World. What was the other one?
All the Six Flags parks, Dollywood. Dollywood is owned by Hirschfeld Family Entertainment, so they also own Silver Dollar City. So our equipment is at Silver Dollar City as well. And then cruise lines, major resorts. You know, FoamDaddy really dominates this market. So if you go to somewhere,
Tech
it's,
Nine
a
videos.
big, multi-million-dollar property, you never see anything but FoamDaddy equipment. FoamDaddy really dominates that market, because those folks know that they can count on us for engineering and for quality and for being there. And that's really a huge advantage that FoamDaddy has, is we really own those big markets.
And then the next slide. People have made over 100K per year in just foam. That's a statement. Chris, you do over 100K in foam, don't you?
Well, we'll do probably close to $400,000 in foam this year, which is a bit mind blowing.
You're obviously our industry leader. When it comes to there's nobody else making more money in foam, just foam though.
But Justin, I don't have some extraordinary skill or ability that anybody who's watching tonight doesn't have as well.
Longest.
I've been at it longer, so I'll tell just a quick 30-second story. So one of our major business segments is we do events for a lot of shopping centers. We make it snow at shopping centers. We do installations, like the Final Four was in Phoenix last weekend. If you saw a giant basketball hoop people were walking through on ESPN, that was us that built that. We do all these crazy things for malls. And we, in 2016, had a mall request that we do a bubble festival for National Bubble Day. And after we got the second or third season of that, it was so well attended that I needed to find a way to add activities to that event. So I went on Amazon and I bought a foam machine from this company called FoamDaddy. And like a couple days later, it shows up on my doorstep. And I see on the return address label that this company is like 5 or 6 miles down the road from me. I thought, well, that's interesting. And so we did foam at these first few events. And, that was one piece out of a bigger pie. And the reaction was amazing. I mean, the foam zone was just jammed. It was crazy. And I thought, all right, we could break this out as a thing for birthdays, because we had a bunch of other birthday party businesses. And it sort of exploded from there. And now, I mean, we do, this time of year, we'll do 15 or 20 parties a weekend. For sort of an average or even slower weekend. In the summer, there's weeks we'll do 100 or more foam parties. And so the key to our success has been that we do a great job. We don't just show up and stand there. We present a professional, high level, high value experience, but we also market the hell out of it. You drive around Phoenix on the freeways, I'm on billboards. James here just started buying in the North Carolina market. He just started rolling 2 or 3 days ago television commercials, and he'll get 6-figure results. And for those of you that are watching that aren't in the FoamDaddy group, I should just do a quick plug. Search Facebook for FoamDaddy Official User Group. That's our user group. We just hit 7,000 people in that group. But I probably have in that group a couple of dozen people that do well into the 6 figures with foam. And pretty much everybody follows the same formula. But having said that, since we're talking specifically to party rental folks tonight, I've also got quite a few folks that just are party rental folks. They're not doing, full service thing. And they own 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of our FoamDaddy machines. And they do drop-off parties, and they're doing pretty substantial volume as well, because they're also doing a good job of marketing it, but in a completely different way than those of us that do full service. So there isn't just one path to success here. For different people, some like Coke, some like Pepsi, and that's totally fine. But the point is that foam is amazing. And, even if you live somewhere that's not the Sun Belt, there is a lot of potential. You just have to go after it.
Just to add to that, I have a colleague in Michigan that started last year, and he's in a more of a rural area. And, like any business, it starts out a little bit slow. But he has already booked almost as many parties. And he started, I think, late. I think he wants to say he started in May or June, just really getting his feet on the ground. He's already booked almost as many parties in April as he did all of last year. And in his particular case, and they're going to talk about branding a little bit later, but in his particular case, he has some clients, some customers who have booked him to drive 200 miles because he looks the most professional.
Amazing.
And so he gets a premium to deliver that service. So he's not in a great big city with 3 million, 4 million people. He's in a pretty rural area, but he's doing extremely well with schools and daycares and things like that. So you don't have to be in a Phoenix or an LA or a great big metropolitan area to do very well in this. If you execute your marketing and your branding well. So that's the absolute key. And Chris is the genius with that.
Matthew, I see in the comments you said you would never drive 200 miles for a foam party. Would you drive 200 mials for a foam party if it was $3,000? I bet you would.
Yeah, that's
and I routinely do events that are $5,000 or $10,000.
Oh yeah, I charge you for every mile. So there's two different foam machines. Do you want to pull that diagram of the two different machines up real quick, Lawrence? And then just a real quick cap too. We are doing a special, a PRK special. It's like a $250 value. You're getting a free wrap if you get an HD stacker. So a free wrap with your logo, whether it be your own company party rental logo, or you want it to have the logo of your specific foam brand or whatever. You can get it wrapped. I even tell people if you want to brand this machine, you can slap Ford on the side of it, whatever. You can get it it's $150. I tell my customers it's $250. I make $100, and I just take that wrap and I rewrap it. And I always have extra ones for my own too, so you can use it as an upsell. But seriously, you get that, and you're going to get an extra bag of gel. We already give you 2 gallons of gel with the machines. You're going to get a whole extra pack of gel or a gender reveal kit. So I really squeezed Paul for this one.
Let me take a second and walk through the two machines and just talk about what they do and what they're about, and just a little bit about FoamDaddy. So, the first thing to point out is both of these machines. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of units in use. FoamDaddy is not some company that started a few weeks ago and makes these in the garage and just slaps them together. It's a real company. It's a multi-million-dollar company that's been around for a long time. So there's a lot of subtleties built into these machines in terms of thousands of being built so that they're built the right way and they're reliable. The machine that you see on your left, the yellow and white one, that's the Stacker HD. Now, the cool thing about that is that it really shoots extremely well. You can shoot 30 or more feet if the wind is in your favor. I can get 40 or 50 feet out of that, which means that you're able to accommodate a large group in a large area and fill a large space. But you can also choke that machine down using a baffling technique to make it fill a smaller area. That's particularly important if you've got a day when it's really windy and you need power. You can have amazing strong output out of that. And the other thing that's also awesome about that machine is as long as you continue to buy FoamDaddy gel, that machine has a lifetime warranty. And FoamDaddy really is about customer service. So that machine is going to have a lifetime warranty if you buy FoamDaddy gel, which means that you never have to worry about that machine. It's going to be taken care of. And it's a really durable, heavy-duty machine. I own 11 of these machines, and they're workhorses for us. They're just terrific, terrific machines. The machine on the right has had a nice new improvement lately. Some of you may know about our conference called Foam Universe that we host every year in January. This year it was in New Orleans. We haven't announced plans for what we're doing next year. That's still a surprise to come. But we introduced this new setup with this handle you see on that machine this year. And that's really a game changer for that machine because it makes it really easy to set up and use. That machine on the right, the black machine called the large foam machine, has amazing output as well. It just doesn't shoot quite as far, but it's a completely acceptable machine for doing foam parties, for doing daycare, summer camps, school events, birthdays, all that kind of stuff. And it's about half the price of the Stacker HD. So if you are new to this and you think, well, I don't really have the budget to buy the Stacker, for $14.50, you can get a really great quality machine. There's thousands of those out there, and it has amazing output. And the cool thing about that black machine, the large foam machine, is you can take the black sock off of there. And instead, if you don't want to use that as a shooting machine, if you're in a situation where you can hang it from truss or you're indoors, you can hang that machine. Now, I'm sure we'll show you in a little bit at some point here a picture of how we do that off of our fire trucks. We're doing foam parties all day tomorrow in North Carolina with James's trucks. Alex here we looked at a fire truck for him to buy today to do foam off of a fire truck. And that takes a foam party. What do you get for an hour foam party in a fire truck?
1 hour in a foam party is $675.
So if you want to get $675 for an hour, tomorrow we're doing 2 events. That'll be a $3,000 day with foam off of the fire truck.
Real quick, let's show a couple videos of actually these machines in action. We can show a regular party, and then we're going to show a glow party. Lawrence, you want to hit it for us? And then we'll show the video of the glow one here. So one thing I want to note, because we're probably not going to bring it up unless somebody actually asks about it, is all it really takes to do a glow party compared to a regular party is having a black light. I see people just use that, but we also sell an additive for FoamDaddy that makes the foam glow under a black light, and it's like really reactive. So it's really all it takes to do a glow party and post proms, all the different stuff. It's definitely the route to go.
By the way, those videos, let's talk about those videos for a second. So, I'm the founder of the FoamDaddy Facebook group and sort of the leader of this community. And I really try to share with everybody what I'm doing in my businesses to be successful so that they can duplicate what I'm doing in their particular city. And one of the things is I realized very early on, and Paul, who's the owner of FoamDaddy, realized very early on, that this is not about just selling people a foam machine and saying, here you go, have a nice day, good luck with that. And really the key to success with this is the process. It's the selling of this concept to people. So both those videos you saw there, those are available. It's just one of about 1 million different resources that FoamDaddy provides to people, so that you can have, for a very small amount of money, literally the cost of the guy's time to do the branding, you can have those videos branded with your name, your phone number at the end, your logo, all that stuff. And they don't say FoamDaddy, they say your foam company's name. We've got photos, we've got many, many videos besides those. You can get your Canon wrapped, and it literally shows up on your doorstep with your logo on it, which is pretty awesome. You don't have to worry about that. We've got resources for logos, for building websites that we know will convert because they're working for a lot of other people. And whatever else it is you need as a resource, we're going to help you get launched so that you can be successful with this. and not just buy a machine, but to really, excel with it. And that's really important to us.
So yeah, that's a really really important point, to be honest with you. Like you even said before, we actually have that conference that you're doing every single year. It was originally in Vegas, and then it was in New Orleans last year, which I had a lot of fun. Well, oh cool. Um, so adding foam to your existing rental company. I think you messed up a couple slides here. Nope, you gotta go back. There's two different ways you can do this. You had one job, Lawrence. My bad. See, there's two different ways you can make money with foam. You can add it to your existing rental company, or you can add it to creating a standalone foam brand. Kind of mentioned that before. Then we'll go right into adding it to your rental company.
So if you want to do that, you put it on your BCN or IO or ERS site, just like any other rental item you have. And the important thing is you don't bury it there. You make sure you feature it on your social media. You make sure that people know about it. You make sure if people are calling the book, you say, hey, how'd you like to add a foam machine to your water slide or your bounce house? And in those cases, folks are dropping that off. You drop it off in the morning when you're dropping off your bounce houses. You teach birthday dad or birthday mom or Uncle Bob how to use it. You leave them with the setup with some fluid to get them through a few hours of foam party. And you can, of course, always sell them on more. And then at the end of the day, when it comes time to pick up the bounce house or the cannon, when you're doing your route, you pick it up, and that's a sort of a drop-off offering. Justin, what do you think is the fairest way to characterize what sort of the going rate for around the country is for a day drop-off?
It's right around
350.
It's 350. Everybody I hear it's around 350 for an hour, 200 for your additional hour. Unless you can get more. I get more all the time by doing different ways and stuff like that. One for a rental, I do it weird. I rent the machine for $300 or $400 or $500, whatever I can get away with, and then I sell the foam basically by the hour. So I have them in gallon jugs with my logo on it, and then I sell them. I give them 2 jugs for $100. So they get a gallon of solution for $100. So I'm making basically right around $200 every time I sell a gallon worth of gel. That's costing me $50, or 68, whatever it is. But you see where I'm coming from. Like that's how I do my rentals. And when I talk about rentals, honestly, I only do rentals about 10% of the time, if that. It's for schools that are real finicky about, wanting to spend for staff or whatever. I make more money if they want to do it anyways, and it's less liability on my company. So whatever. It's an easier setup. I just slap it on the truck in the morning with the bounce houses. It doesn't bother me at all. Same thing with doing a foam run or something like that. I'm setting up the machine, handing it a bunch of solution, not dealing with any labor, and making a bunch of money that way. I make more money off my rental situations, but they are a lot less common than doing it through my rental site or as my standalone brands. So I will make that statement about rentals. It's very simple. It's very easy. Somebody made a comment earlier about the machines not having a handle. I think we debunked that already. And then also saying that it's not a real good rental item. Well, you just need to make sure you're actually giving them the barriers with the machine, and you're not just dropping the machine off. If they're at the end of the day, it's the same setup. You're just charging extra delivery fee. It's the same amount of time. It's just you're actually saving money on time, because now you don't have somebody sitting there for an hour. Now they could be dropping off 2 of those machines in the same amount of time, technically, as a rental. But you have to have 2 machines, and we sell 2 machines packages at FoamDaddy, and we're running that special. Remember that. But there's a bunch of other, that's back to what we were saying. It's easy. It's an easy setup and tear down these machines too. I don't think we really got into that point. That's another thing for the rental companies.
It's 5 minutes. It's literally 5 minutes to set up. Can we talk before you move on to that? Can we talk a little bit about the other option, which is a full service offering? Now, what we do is we don't do rentals. Bubble Maniacs is my company name. If you look at bubblemaniacs.com, you'll see what we do. And so we do full service. James here does full service, and Alex does full service as well. And what we do is a branded, our stuff is very branded. I mean, when you see a Bubble Maniacs foam party, you do not forget that it was Bubble Maniacs, because we really have a really beautiful branded setup. And our typical birthday party is 45 minutes, not even an hour, 45 minutes, because kids' attention spans are about 45 minutes. We show up about 15 minutes before. One of my staff sets up the cannon, barriers, a nice tent, music system. They throw out beach balls, and they create just this really amazing kids' dance party experience. We'll do an hour, we'll do longer. We do much bigger events. We did an event on Saturday with 4 cannons. We've done some with 6 or 8 even before, where it fills a huge, huge area. And we run the whole thing. And typically for an hour, you're at about $350 for an hour. So we're getting for an hour what you get for a renter for the whole day, but it's a completely different business model. And I think that the main thing, though, is that we really sell that against, for example, my moms that are looking at that would also be considering maybe a magic show or a game truck or something like that. I think that that's a little bit different customer than somebody that's a DIY drop-off customer. It tends to be somebody that they don't want to do it themselves. They don't want to have dad do that. They'd rather just pay a little more.
You want to stay completely away from the backyard foam party rental. You want to, if you're going to actually rent the machine, rent it to a school that's going to spend the same money the other way, and you're going to get the same money the other way. Like how he said, you only want to do a rental when it actually works, because you can make more money doing this 4 times in a day than renting out that machine for an hour foam party. That's why it's cheaper to honestly just rent the machine for an hour. Let me come do a whole party in your yard. It's cheaper to spend that much money than to actually do a rental from me. It doesn't really even break even until around like the 3 or 4 hour mark, the way my pricing is. So it based off pricing structure, and this is only within my party rental company, by the way, not my standalone brand, which I have as well. And I'll explain why I have both later on in the video as well. But I price myself so that at a certain point, I'm making more money in that one rental off your 4 parties in a day, because there's no labor there. And that's the only time I do a rental at all. That's what I want to make sure I explain that very thoroughly.
Also, if you're already dropping a bounce house off to that house or a water slide,
that too is a whole nother
the
story.
Additional margin it's just no different than if you had a popcorn machine or a snow cone machine. Exactly. The trucks already go in there.
Exactly, it's different, and that's, to be clear, that's basically what we were getting at earlier, where one of these topics is actually taking your company from 300K to 100K, or your foam offerings. And in reality, I make a ton of money just offering it and just burying it in my foam party site, coming up number 1 with some Google ads, etc. I started making even more money when I started doing a standalone site. I started getting even more schools. And then there's that cross promotion effect too that we were talking about, like, you know what I mean, that how you have your multiple brands and how they have different offerings. So a school doesn't want to do a school kind of does want to do a foam party every year. I've been doing foam parties for schools like 3 or 4 years straight, but schools, they want different stuff is what it is. So if they can use your foam party in the summer and then stick your inflatables in their gym in the winter now, they love that stuff. But let's go to another one. Another.
Can I just answer? Can I just pause for a second? There's a couple questions in the comments I want to answer real quick before we go on. By the way, I know this is streaming to a lot of Facebook groups. If you're commenting on Facebook, we can't see your stuff because we're not able to look at 10 groups at once. If you comment in StreamYard, we're able to see it. So Jared asked a question. So we announced something a couple hours ago. So FoamDaddy is opening a distribution facility and a service facility in the Toronto area. So if you're Canadian, we're going to be able to ship domestically for you without having to cross the border. We're going to be able to stock both. We will be stocking, and already there's a couple of pallets of stuff that arrived there this week already. There'll be gel available domestically in Canada for all of you. There will be cannons, there'll be service, there'll be support. It's set up so that you don't have to ship anything across the U.S.-Canadian border. So that'll be a huge advantage. I know one of the guys posted in the group today that they ordered some gel earlier today, and he's in Canada, and he ordered it from our Canadian warehouse. He saved over $1,000 worth of shipping, which is not a bad way to start on a first day of announcing.
Warehouse to pick stuff up because I'm right on the border. And stuff like that.
Garrett, our website's FoamDaddy.com, and that has everything you need. And FoamDaddy official user group, Foam with no space, then Daddy. So FoamDaddy together, FoamDaddy official user group on Facebook. Just search that, and you'll find our user group and join it along with 7,000 other wonderful friends as well.
So the next reason why you want to add one to your rental company and just your offerings in general is Foam is safe. It's a registered resource for autism, a registered resource for the blind. It has those certifications right on the homepage of the FoamDaddy website.
And doggies love it too.
Oh yeah, that's safe for dog. I literally tell people it's not gonna hurt your kids' eyes. It's not gonna hurt your dogs. It's not gonna hurt your flowers. It's safe for all that stuff. And then when you tell a school that it's a registered resource for autism, it's a registered resource for the blind, just eat it up. They love that. You can use it against your existing customer base. If you have a rental company already, you already have a bunch of schools and daycares and stuff like that. You don't have to hit me up for a random web scraping list. I sell those too. Small plug, but seriously, you can actually just go ahead and use your already existing company of churches and clients you're already offering. They love new stuff. This is like you said, you can go down the street and 99% of the people don't know what a foam party is. And as soon as you show it to them, they're like, yes.
The videos sell it.
Well, the other part to that, Justin, is not only that you can use your existing customer base, is that once you have an established relationship with a school or a daycare, and you become a known quantity to them and you are dependable to them, then they don't want to have to deal with another vendor, another person that they have to go out and is this going to be a good vendor? Is this not going to be a good vendor? Right? They can just call, not only can you just call them, but they already know you have an established relationship with them. So that just makes it so much easier because they'll call up for me this year. I've had several customers, repeat customers call up and they're like, I want four Fridays this year. What Fridays are available? I'm just like, I got this one. Great, done. They're booked. I send them the invoice.
I've been doing a phone party for these schools it's just camps actually. And I do one at each camp. There's 3 of them, but I also do inflatables there, and I do all kinds of stuff each week. So each school gets something different each week on a Wednesday. So it's nothing going on at all, really. And they've been doing that for 4 years, and they're like, yeah, we definitely want a phone party. And then one day, and they just, here's my money. You know what I mean? Like here's $3,000. Oh, is this way? Oh, there's an increase every couple of years. Hit them with an increase, and you just go from there. What was the next reason, Lawrence? Also pull up that FoamDaddy.ca that Paul mentioned there too. We got that domain too. Also, if you want to go to foampoppy.com, that works too.
So can we talk about SEO for a minute? So one of the things one of the reasons that FoamDaddy has been successful is that we really dominate SEO nationally for foam. If you look at how FoamDaddy ranks compared to anybody else, we're really good at SEO. And so one of the things that we really teach to our community, we teach this at Foam Universe, we teach this in the group, is that if you want to be successful with foam, you've got to rank really, really well. So there's a great website all of you should go to. It's called spyfu.com. It's SPYFU.com. Type that in. Sorry, I apologize. It's SPYFU.com, spyfu.com. Go into that website, type in your domain, type in your competitors' names, and look at how you rank for keywords in your market. I see Jana Thompson's on here. Jana, of course, is a guru when it comes to bounce houses and helping a lot of people in the industry. We love you, Jana, and we appreciate you. And I pulled up Jana's website the other day just for fun. And if you're ranking for 1,000 or more keywords, you're executing really well. And Jana was the only bounce house website I pulled up, Jana's website, that was ranking for more than 1,000. Most people I pulled up rank for 25 or 50 or whatever. So this is going to help your SEO because it's more keywords, it's more people searching for stuff that's going to drive traffic to your website. And just as a little plug, if you don't have somebody professionally managing your SEO, it's sort of like, unless you know how to rebuild the engine in your car in your driveway, you're not going to go out and rebuild the engine in your car. It's the same with the SEO. Unless you know what you're doing, spend that few $100 a month, get somebody to do it right, because it literally means many, 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 many more times,
Even
money.
if you do know how to do it, I know how to do it, and I pay for SEO and time. One of the reasons I switched from BCN to IO was mainly because I had to do a front-facing website switch no matter what, because I wanted to own my SEO if I'm going to dump thousands of dollars in a lot of my time. SEO has gotten a lot easier with the different AI going on. We can go into AI subjects too, but basically, the things people are doing with foam is very basically, the way I explain this is the foam industry excelled a lot faster than the rest of the party rental industry, mainly because foam is a one-trick pony. Well, we got like 3 tricks. We got regular foam, colored foam, and glow foam. That's all we really got. So foam people are very meticulous on their setups, are very precise. You can do things the same way every single time. The standardization when it comes to foam and best practices are there. When it comes to a bounce house, there's 20 different styles of bounce houses, inflatables. Then you have different, like as far as tents go, you have a lot more complicated things. You have people underneath them at all times. It's like, okay, I just got to make sure the foam is over there. And it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like that, there's not that much. Oh, there's water. It works. Oh, the water works. Okay, I have solution. I didn't spill it. All right, we're cooking with peanut oil now. Like, oh, I got my bucket. Let's just dump it together. It's as simple as
Foam is
that.
really easy. Foam is really easy.
I do want to bring up one thing too, back for the rentals too. On the rental side, one thing I do when I do my rentals for the first hour, I show them. You take the cap off the first one, you dump the gallon in the first bucket. You take the gallon off the second one and you dump it in the second bucket. You have a bunch more gallons for each. That's an hour. You just fill it with water. That's an hour. So you just got to 1 and 1. You can't really screw it up when you're showing somebody doing multiple hours for a rental. I even am trying to do a million things, but I want to have a video made. Maybe I will even just send it over to Michael for a project. Shout out to Michael again. But just having my customers know that, oh, you can just, how to mix the solution, that way. Like, all you have to do is once you have it from a jug, because there's a lot of different things like my concession machines. I have little videos to show them how to use that. If you're doing rentals, that can help a lot. As far as
videos, hey Paul, I know you're in the comments there. Can you drop a link to the FoamDaddy video training series in the comments? So FoamDaddy did something I think is really cool. Last year, we have an amazing foam guy in North Carolina. His name is Michael Mario Rosander. His company is Flamingo Foam Party, and he does spectacular foam, but he's also an amazing actor who you've probably seen on quite a few television shows and commercials. So he did a terrific training video series for us. And it's about 20 different videos, and it teaches you everything you need to know about foam. What comes in the box, how to set it up, what a party looks like, how to mix the foam fluid, how to operate the cannon, how to do maintenance on the cannon, exactly what to do. And it's in the comments. I see it just got dropped there. Have a look at that. Take an hour, sit down, drink a beer, and watch that series. And if you don't know anything about foam, that's going to take you through from A to Z, everything you need to know to get started or consider getting started. And it's just the most wonderful resource because you can watch it at your leisure, and it's not a hard sell. It's just, here's the information, and you can absorb it at your own speed.
Honestly, though, too, if as a hard sale like thing, to be honest with you, because we are running a special, and no, seriously though, because there is no company better than FoamDaddy. FoamDaddy is a leader in the market, and those videos are one of the reasons that set FoamDaddy apart from a lot of the other people in the industry, among a lot of other things. But I just really wanted to emphasize the care that FoamDaddy takes into giving like you information on the product that you're buying. I do not get this when I buy a $3,000 bounce house. I have to beg them for pictures, and sometimes they have their logos basically on top of them, and they don't really care. They're like, "Oh, you could be Chinese. You might be stealing." You know what I mean?
I want each of these guys to real quick share a little something. James, I know you want something, and I'm going to ask you a question in a second.
So I just wanted to back up a minute about SEO. So obviously, I've seen some businesses that just rely strictly on Facebook, okay, for their phone business. That isn't enough, okay. You need two additional things. One, you need an amazing website, okay. Now, obviously, there are a lot of great tools out there that allow an individual to build their website. Do not go that route, okay. Do not have your genius 17-year-old son or daughter build your website. There are so many things that you need to have professionally done on your website, meta tags and pixels and all these other things that are critical for the professional SEO people that Chris mentioned a few minutes ago that you have to have, okay? So don't rely on, your brother-in-law who's just great with web pages or something like that, because you'll completely miss the point and your SEO will fail, okay? Number two, you must invest in having your Google My Business page and getting that dominance when people Google you. You need to show up at the top, not just for phone parties, but birthday party ideas or cool things to do with kids or blah, blah, blah. Those are absolutely essential. If you're not doing those things, if you're not investing in that and you're just relying on Facebook, then you're literally it's like driving your sedan in trying to drive through mud. You're just going to be spinning your wheels and wondering why you're not getting anywhere.
Very good point.
Yeah.
So Alex is new at this. He's just started in foam recently. So I wanted him to join us and maybe take just like a minute or two and share, as somebody who's brand new at this, what you would share to somebody else who's new or thinking about this.
Yeah, we opened it's called FoamGator.com in Sarasota, Florida, and that was addition to the bouncy house business that we own as well. We made a lot of mistakes in bouncy houses when we first started, and we had no idea. We made so many mistakes. Now that we stumbled across foam and wanted to add additional thing, we came across very good people like Christopher Weed. That was one of my first mentors in this, and I followed every step of his way. And once we launched the FoamGator, that blew up. Actually, we got 2 bookings already for schools and a lot of inquiries, addition to what we did. And it's all because now we got a lot of good education and somebody that held my hand, and we watched all of the videos that Paul the link that he sent out. We watched all of those videos, and that gave us so much more confidence coming into adding additional, or even just adding a brand new company to something for you to start. And the support that we have is phenomenal. I love it. It's just they're holding my hand with going through all of this. So thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. I mean, this is not hard. And, Justin, myself, Lawrence, who you met at the beginning, all of us that are involved with this, we want to help you, want to see you succeed. And set up a call with us. Let us spend a half an hour with you on the phone.
I just want to go over a couple more topics too. It's like creating a new foam brand specifically. The emphasis on this call really in this video is really to focus on. Feel free to just add a foam machine and get your toes in the water in your rental company or whatnot. A lot of these companies aren't going to take the time in April because the sale is only good to the end of April, and go ahead and just start a new brand right off the bat. But adding it to your rental site just to get your toes in the right water as a new offering is totally an option. but you're only going to make so much money. If you want to take it to the next level, you want to make 30 to 100K in a year, then you want to create a separate brand. I had the capabilities to do it, and I took the time to do it. It was very much worthwhile. That's how you can grow from 30K to 100K with a different phone brand. It's at the end of the day, we all know what it's like talking to the customers. And when you're doing a field day, they have a million questions. What time are you going to be there? And then I have a lot of customers that will book on my websites all the time for large scale events, etc. But a $350 phone party, they always have questions on my rental site. Where if you have your standalone phone brand and all of your brandings, it's not going to kill your cat, it's not going to kill your dog, it's safe for the environment, etc. You have all these questions and things already answered by that specific brand, that specific website. They are going to more likely spend thousands of dollars for a couple hour party off a website without even talking to you. I have one of the few websites on here in the industry that you're able to just book online, like without even talking to you, a phone party with up to 10 hours away. Back to Matt's question about being able to, if you'll drive or whatever, I'll drive 10 hours away and I'll make a lot of money off travel fees. That's the name of the game when it comes to that. A standalone phone brand is it gives you a lot of different versatility. Another thing too, the other reason I like to do both, another reason I do both, Chris, is because if you have foam offerings, and the way I offer foam is I offer groovy foam parties within my other rental company now. Now that I have both brands, because it's a lot more streamlined. I don't have to have two separate logos, etc. I make the money regardless. If you're using any of the rental software systems, you can just tie into it and have the product share, so you're not overbooking, so you don't have to make things overcomplicated. Where I forgot, I lost my train of thought. Oh, the reason you want to do that is because you can take over the 2 out of the 3 spots in Google Map Pack for foam. So when you do that, I run foam ads only on my Groovy Foam company, because I don't really care. Like I said, I could run ads to my party rental company, and that's not as converting as my standalone foam brand. So all my ads actually go to Groovy Foam, and then I naturally take up that second spot or first spot with my party rental company, because it's a foam machine rental and I'm the rental king in Buffalo. So it's like, it's why
pushes competitors further down. So you're
exactly, and
you own McDonald's on one corner and Burger King on the other, and it makes it a lot harder for Jack in the Box to open on that corner, because you're already there occupying two of the spots on the intersection. It's a brilliant strategy, Justin.
Exactly. Well, if you go down the bread aisle, like, those are 4 different companies owning all those different products for the most part. They're just taking up space. So ask questions. We have a little bit more time. If feel free, we're down to answer them. If you're ready to go ahead and buy a machine, we're running that sale. Remember that. I want to do this every beginning of the season, but there's always sales going on with FoamDaddy. FoamDaddy always has something going on. I wouldn't say always, but you flash some cash and we'll come running. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously though, that's the carny in me, man. I can't take it off. I can't take it off or turn it off. But seriously, open questions. Stephanie's on the line. If you want to buy a machine, just let them know PRK sent you. You're gonna get a free wrap. You get either a choice of extra gel, or you can get a gender reveal kit. And you can look at their faces. They're like, "Oh, I wish I would have got that a month ago when I bought my other machine. I could have used that extra gel. It's a couple $100. That's money in the pocket."
By the way, you have no idea how fun it is to do gender reveals with foam, because people, when they're having a baby and they're having a gender reveal party, it's this beautiful sort of moment, right? I mean, they're in such a great mood. The family's gathered around. They're all excited. They have this, this expectation. And so when you do a gender reveal party, which, just to make it clear to folks what that is you take your cannon and you shoot either blue or pink foam out of the cannon, Or if they're having twins, you can sell it as a double party, which is even better. But you have no idea what sort of how that fills your emotional tank, I guess is the way you'd put it. You go to those and people are just so happy and they're so fun.
I have my staff members fight. They fight each other. Like there's some of them are related. They literally hit each other, like physically. They're like, oh yeah, fight for it. I don't care. But they love it. Those phone parties are great. And then I showed them that Takashi Tech or 6ix9ine video or whatever, and they started losing it. They're like, oh, I'll go to a million phone parties if I only get to go to one that's like that.
So let me explain a little bit for those of you who know what he's talking about real quick, what Justin's talking about. So one of the cool things about FoamDaddy is, having been around all this time, is that, you know, whenever Hollywood or any of these big folks come looking for foam, it's always FoamDaddy. So we've been in quite a few movies, and we were just we've discovered the other day, and we didn't have anything. I mean, they bought a Canon like anybody else, and this Takashi 6ix9ine dropped this new video about 3 weeks ago, and I woke up one morning and I had like 40 text messages. Hey, have you seen this video? They were all my cool, much younger friends than me, though, that apparently I knew who that was. I'm not that unhip, but I didn't exactly follow him.
We can all talk about it. He's a snitch.
We're, you know, and like, so every now and then, you know, we'll pop up in a movie or a music video or something like that. Every now and then I'll see a TV commercial somewhere where I'm like, wow, that's our stuff. And that's actually pretty fun and pretty cool. And it's a real delight to be a part of some of those things.
Oh, it's been in movies, and Yes Day. It was in I think it's the painted house. If there's a certain house or something that's a party house in LA.
Jake Paul. I mean, there's a bunch of YouTubers that have done stuff with our equipment. It's pretty fun.
It was fun too. I see the same thing with dunk tanks too. There's a lot of different brands that do fun stuff with dunk tanks. It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, actually, I got a YouTuber I got to hit up now. Now I'm thinking about it. It'd be fun to do some more fun stuff. Is there any more
questions? Drop them in. We try to keep these. We're at 52 minutes. We try to keep these at an hour so that we don't, drag this out.
Questions came in already.
Away.
A lot of the questions came in already through the main chat, and we're pretty much answered. I don't see any two new questions going on. And then we also always have the FoamDaddy user group. It's literally its own FoamDaddy's own Facebook group. Chris created it. PRK, we push all our foam people. If you're really interested, your best foam information is found in that group. You can always ask those questions in PRK too. It's always a hodgepodge of just entertainers in general, and rental people, and just every PRK is the town hall of the party rental industry, basically. If you want to come there and ask questions, but if you want really those actual people that make a lot of money in foam, that FoamDaddy user group's the next level when you're just doing foam, especially if you're going into it. I kind of like, you can close out all the other stuff, people talking about tents, and get in there and just really narrow down and focus all things nitty and gritty about foam.
And I love how active our group is. I mean, an average day we have 20, 30 posts. And then when somebody asks a question, you'll find that oftentimes 20 or 30 people jump in and will answer and be helpful. And that's always really, really fun. So we're proud of that. We really try to create a community that uplifts people and really helps them on their journey. And that's what FoamDaddy is about. So I think with that, I mean, if we don't have questions, I think we did. Yep.
I have a closing plug for FoamDaddy. So I had an opportunity to meet Paul about 3 years ago when I was in Phoenix to talk with Chris about something else. And very impressed with him. He rushed right over, had no reason to rush right over, but he rushed right over, spent an hour with me, to talk. And about 6 months into the business, I had an idea for something I wanted to do with the fire truck that Chris alluded to earlier. And so I just reached out to Paul and said, hey, this is what I want to do. And he spent a significant amount of time with me on, he's like, okay, well, here's what you want to do. You want to buy this product, now this is how you engineer it. So we engineered this solution together. And he had no skin in the game. I mean, he didn't get a commission on it. He obviously the sale of the equipment, that was it. But he really spent time to understand what I was trying to do, worked with me on a solution, right? Followed through with me, made sure that everything worked great. And so, it's been said 100 times about, what great customer service and commitment to the product they have, but it's not lip service, folks. It isn't just when your sale is done, that's it. You have that ongoing support. So, just, believe it when they say that, you're in really good hands with this product.
If you want to see what James did
I
with
got
a
I'm
fire
shaking
truck
right
and a
now.
foam cannon, tomorrow, I encourage all of you to keep your eyes on the FoamDaddy user group on Facebook. We're doing multiple fire truck foam parties tomorrow here in North Carolina for completely different types of customers. So I'm going to be posting a bunch of pictures and videos. There's a couple pictures, but you're going to see some really cool stuff tomorrow. But we have this same setup at our location in San Antonio. We're going to have the same location, our location in Sarasota, Florida.
Snow machine.
And it's just amazing what we're able to do with fire truck and foam. So check out the Facebook group for FoamDaddy tomorrow, and we'll show you a lot more. Or have a look at fantasticfiredepartment.com as well. That'll show you more details on what we do too. So with that, Justin, I'll let you take it out and say goodbye.
So basically, everybody, if you haven't realized yet, we're selling foam machines. You should go buy one. But other than that, FoamDaddy is seriously got a big spot in my heart. Paul's been nothing but treat me good my entire life. Not my entire life, my entire time knowing him in this industry. I have nothing but good things to say about FoamDaddy and our products. The sale is only good till April, but even if this is past then and you're thinking about getting a machine, feel free to ask me any questions. Feel free to ask FoamDaddy any questions. Feel free to DM me about machines, whatever. If you're not going to do it now, it's never really too late because this, like I said before, foam is not a fad. It's really not going anywhere. And I guess I'll plug myself on the way out. I teach all kinds of other stuff. I do all kinds of other speaking engagements and all kinds of weird stuff on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be taking this video and throwing it on my YouTube channel as well, just to spread it out more. It's a little collaboration I'm doing between me and FoamDaddy, hence the special. But yeah, this week, get that in. If you're going to get your orders in, if you're not going to do it this week, we're not going anywhere. Definitely one of the best in the industry. I will rant all day if you keep me on this screen. So like and subscribe, follow FoamDaddy, and follow Party Rental Knowledge for more tips and tricks on the foam party industry.